Sports presents the game of the year in the Canadian Football League. First place on the line between the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the BC Lions.
And the atmosphere is absolutely electric here in jam-packed BC Place. It's a showdown for first place in the CFL West. And if you think that's not important, just consider the fact that in the last 11 consecutive years, the team that won the West went on to represent the West in the Grey Cup. So finishing first is all important, and both teams know it. Sit back, get comfortable. We've got all the ingredients of a great one.
Okay, Al, thank you very much. Both teams, of course, 11-3-1 going into this ball game, Frank. Not only are they two best teams in the country, but two of the best offensive performers in Murph Fernandez and Willard Reeves.
I think it's just a shame that both of these guys can't wind up with the Shenley Award. Only one of them, of course, will represent the West. But what outstanding years that they've both had. Willard Reeves, of course, and Fernandez, both looking to set records in the Canadian Football League tonight. I'm really excited about this whole ball game, as 60,000 people here are at BC Place. I'm sure you are as well, Dale.
You betcha. The whole country looking forward to this football game, and it should be a classic in the CFL as we get set to kick it off between the Lions and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. First place is on the line in the Western Division.
Let's get it on.
Your favorite chair, because Louis Pasagna is just kicking this one off. First place in the West on the line tonight. Kevin Nealis on the return, number 25 of the Bombers, and he is hammered down at the 20-yard line. Andre Jones, number 32, in on the tackle for BC, a 17-yard return. And Tom Clements will lead the Winnipeg offense out onto the field. And, of course, the league's number one rusher, Willard Reeves, in that backfield. You look at the receivers in the offensive line.
Bill, I think those receivers of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers really haven't gotten the publicity, of course, that Murph Fernandez and the rest of the receivers in the league have, but as a group, they're as good as anybody.
We have an injured Bomber on that kick return down at the 28-yard line. The biggest crowd of the season in the Canadian Football League on hand here tonight.
Well, I think Al McCann really documented how important this football game is. 11 straight years now, the team that finished first has represented the West in the Grey Cup.
Pat Kantner, the injured Bomber, trots off, and now it's the Winnipeg offense, the most potent offense in the entire CFL, which has already set a record for Blue Bomber Club in scoring points, 520. Listen to this crowd.
You're going to hear a lot of that tonight.
Tommy just ignores it and hands off to Willard Reeves for a gain of a couple. Just gets across the 25 to maybe the 26-yard line, and Glenn Jackson, number 37, making the tackle and bring up second down and 7. The defensive line of the BC Lions, James Parker, of course, their nominee in the Shenley balloting as the outstanding defensive player. Jackson, outside linebacker, along with Cruz and Konar, and there's a look at the secondary. Second down and 7, quick count. Clements over the middle to Sean Keogh, and Tyrone Cruz is there to wrap him up shy of the first down.
Excellent tackle by middle linebacker Ty Cruz, 91 on Keogh. Tommy obviously just dumping it off out there, and Clements, of course, is going to have some hand signals that he's going to be using during the course of the evening to communicate to his wide receivers because of the noise that's anticipated here tonight. They certainly had problems in the Western Final last year. And Cal Murphy and I talked about it prior to the game. You'll hear his comment a little later.
Bob Cameron's average of 46 yards a kick is the 4th best in the CFL this year. Angling it to the far side as the Lions only had one man back, Darnell Clash. The Lions get a good hop on it, and it bounces out of bounds at the BC 41-yard line. There is a penalty marker down at the Winnipeg 40. That punt traveled 39 yards. Initial indication is that it'll go against the Lions, possibly some upfield interference on the coverage team against the BC Lions. Tim Cowan, who has won all 3 of his starts on the road, getting the chance to start for the first time at home in 1984.
Murph Fernandez, of course, everybody talking about the great receiver of the BC Lions, and you're going to see a lot of different types of moves from Fernandez now, trying to get him free from what is anticipated to be double coverage all night long.
He splits off wide to the left side. First down, BC from their own 30-yard line. First possession of the night. Fernandez, his first catch of the night, and he's got a 9-yard gain. David Shaw brings him down, along with Tyrone Jones, number 35.
Dale, we talked to Don Matthews immediately prior to the ball game, and you're going to see a lot of this kind of pattern. Both of the cornerbacks of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers lay off quite a bit. They play about 8 to 9 yards back, so they're going to have those patterns very, very short and hope that the receivers can move with that football after making the reception.
Tim Cowan has thrown 8 touchdown passes in the last 2 games, 7 of them to Fernandez. The other one was to Ned Armour. It's second down, about a yard to go for the Lions, just shy of their 40. Donnie Taylor over the top has the first down. BC. Donnie Taylor earned the right to start in this ball game after being very good against the Calgary Stampeders last week. There had been a lot of speculation with Tulumu going down that somebody like a Keevan Jenkins would be brought onto the roster, but no, sir. Don Matthews says Donnie earned the right to play in this one.
Fernandez flanking out to the left side again. You're going to see him coming in motion quite a bit tonight, Dale. They have not shown that move so far. First couple of offensive plays.
Lions from their own 42. First down, the blitz is on. Cowan reads it inside. Fernandez. A touchdown saving tackle by David Shaw. First down near midfield to pick up a 12.
Boy, you better believe that. One step and he was gone. 2 receptions already by the great one. The BC Lions leading receiver for a single season. The record set last year of 78 receptions. He's already beaten that coming into tonight's ball game.
I talked to Merv at practice yesterday, and he's a very happy man. His wife was presented him with another new son as of yesterday, and Merv was really fired up for this one.
Cowan with the straight deep drop, and he overthrows Ron Robinson, and Merv Fernandez is also in the area. The defensive halfback on the far side, Wiley Turner, had fallen down on the play, but the ball was overthrown. It'll bring up second down and 10. Timmy Cowan, a real take charge type of guy. Rather amazing for a guy, second year out of Washington, and he just gets on that field, and he is a real leader out there.
I'll tell you what he's done, too, in the last couple of weeks. He's gotten a lot of confidence, not only from Don Matthews, his head coach, but from his teammates, particularly his offensive guys. They were a little concerned, obviously, when Roy DeWalt went down, but they really think this young guy can do it for them.
Second down and 10 for the Lions near midfield. They almost ran out of time on the 22nd clock. Dumps it over the middle. John Henry White could not hold on to it. So that'll bring up third down, and the Lions punting unit comes on.
Ty Jones, number 35, was right there. I don't think White would have picked up the first down in any event, but ball thrown a little high by Tim Cowan on this one behind John Henry. Aaron Brown there as well. So after 2 first downs, the BC Lions will have to kick it away for the first time.
And Pasaglia's average of 46.3 on the season is the 3rd best in the CFL. 2 men back deep for the Bombers, Nealis and Kehoe. At their 5-yard line, Pasaglia angles it to the far sideline towards Nealis. He has it at the 10. Bounced out of bounds at the 20-yard line. John Henry White downfield. The kick was 46 yards. The return was 10. So the Bombers will have the ball when we come back. It's scoreless here at BC Place in Vancouver.
Will be game to play. Look at Dennis Javen, 67. The backup offensive lineman outweighs Kehoe by about 60 or 70 pounds, but it didn't stop the offensive running back. Saw Kehoe going after him. Tommy Clement, second possession now for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
And again, the crowd gets going as the Bombers come out over the ball. First down at their own 20-yard line.
Triple right.
Over the middle to Joe Poplawski. Makes the catch. Tackled immediately by Tyrone Cruz, who had great coverage on him. Poplawski managed to hang on to the football for a pickup of 6 yards.
Cruz is saying to himself, what do I have to do? He was right there.
Tyrone Cruz, 6'2", 235. And a lot of mobility for a guy that size. As he plays that middle linebacking spot for the BC Lions. Right now, second down and 4, Winnipeg from their own 26. Clements with the quick roll to his left. He finds Boyd for the first down. Tackled immediately by Mel Bird. They'll spot it up near the 35-yard line.
Well, the Bombers caught the BC Lions in a blitz there, and they rolled out away from it. They were blitzing from Tom Clements' right side. He does that quick roll to the left, throws off the wrong foot, but gets the ball right on target.
1 first down each so far. Approaching the 6-minute mark of this opening quarter, no score. A little delay to Willard Reeves. Oh, he does a great job of picking up yardage after it looked like he'd be stopped in the backfield for a loss, but he slipped out of the grasp of Glenn Jackson to pick up about 3 yards.
Dale, it's getting very noisy down here already, and I think they're just warming up. We might remind all our friends watching tonight that Tom Clements, in addition to hand signals, can call 3 timeouts if he feels the noise is too much, but only 3. We'll see if he does.
That's right, and that's 3 in the entire game. So he doesn't want to use those up early. It's 2nd down and 7 for the Bombers. The ball at their 37.5-yard line. And he took too long. The 20-second clock ran out. And that may be a factor with the crowd noise here.
Dale, Fred Fleming brought this up yesterday in the press conference. Tom Clements has had a history, probably more so than any other experienced quarterback, of having that penalty called against him. I'm not sure exactly why, but you're right. This crowd is a factor, and trying to communicate with those wide receivers particularly may cause that time delay.
Time count violation. Winnipeg number 6. 2nd down repeated.
I think he meant to say number 2. Number 6 is Bob Cameron. He's not out there right now. That was Red referee Lauren Woods. So now it's 2nd down and 12 for the Bombers at their own 32.5. There you see the 20-second clock. Got it off in plenty of time. Clemens under pressure. Called down just as he released the football by Bernie Blair and Nick Hebler.
Exactly what the BC Lions could not do against Winnipeg in their first meeting, and that's put pressure on Tom Clements. You see Blair coming in number 7, making first contact with Tommy, and what a fabulous year that Clements has had.
And they're happy to have that number 99 back in the lineup, too, after he missed a good part of the middle portion of the season.
Of course, he came back just early in October, and he is definitely a factor in that pass rush.
Okay, Cameron's in for his 2nd punt. Again, only 1 man back deep. That's Darnell Clash. Good kick by Cameron. Clash from his own 28-yard line. Starts left. Whoa, what a big block.
He fumbled the football. Winnipeg's got it.
No, the ball is down. The ball is down at the 16-yard line. The Lions maintain possession.
Whoa! Watch the great move by Clash as he turns the corner.
He gets a great block right there from Melverd on Delbert Ballard.
And he's got 3 people leading the way. Crawford and Hebler. Let's see about where that fumble occurred. Apparently, it was caused by the contact with the ground. Gee, it looked like that ball broke loose a little earlier than that. A big break for the BC Lions.
Larry Crawford shaken up. He now heads to the bench. The BC offense on the field. 63-yard punt return by Darnell Clash.
One of the non-starting imports for the BC Lions are playing with 2 Americans sitting on the bench starting this game.
Clash and McNeil is the other one. First down from the Winnipeg 17-yard line. Cowan goes to the sidelines to Ron Robinson, I believe it was. No, John Bankrest, I'm sorry. And he'll pick up about 5 yards right at the 12-yard line. Darnell Clash had a punt return for a touchdown earlier this year that covered 83 yards. He just had another one for 63, putting the Lions in scoring position. They started at the 17. They're now down to the 12, 2nd and 5. Coward, Robinson's open.
It looked like Scott Flagel, a safety, trying to come over and cover Robinson on the play, but a perfect strike by Tim Cowan right at the 10-yard line, and Robinson draws first blood for the BC Lions.
There's another look at an isolation on Ron Robinson as he just got into that opening and took it in. A 12-yard score as the Lions go out in front To the delight of 59,000 plus at BC Stadium. 7:16 remaining in the opening quarter. Lou Bisaglia in for the point after. Out of the hold by Pankratz. It's now a 7-0 ball game. The Lions leading the Bombers. And we'll be right back to BC Place in just a moment. Punt return by Darnell Clash set up that 17-yard scoring march of the Lions. Colin to Robinson for 12-yard score. 7-0 BC, and the Bombers were penalized on the point after try. Rough play. So Louis Bisaglia is kicking off from the Winnipeg 50 as the wave rolls around BC Place. Dribbles this one down to the 15-yard line. Aaron Brown on the return, and the big linebacker brings it out to about the 22. Donnie Taylor was in on the tackle. Return of 7 yards. John Henry White was also there for the Lions.
Once again, a Bomber down on the play. Frank Robinson, another linebacker, number 37. And you can see some really wild costumes here tonight. I think they're trying to bring Halloween a little early to BC Place. Of course, BC Lion fans tell you that they invented the wave. I think Crazy George might have been a big factor in creating that fan response. Not necessarily right here, but
they know how to do it pretty well here, don't they?
Sure do. An awful lot of orange and black in the audience here tonight.
Earlier today in the Canadian Football League, the Hamilton Tiger Cats went second place in the Eastern Division with a 25-20 win over the Toronto Argonauts, the third straight win for Hamilton, and so they will host Montreal in the Eastern Division semifinal, which you will see here on CTV 1 week from tomorrow. Tomorrow on CTV, it's Montreal playing at Ottawa, 1:30 start Eastern time. Right now, it's the Bombers, first down from their own 22-yard line. Clements getting away from trouble, intercepted by Jackson. Third interception of the year for Jake, and that won't quiet this crowd if that's what Tommy was hoping to do.
Good pressure on Clements once again. A quick fake to Reeves going up inside, but James Parker, number 40, bothered Clements and had to move out of the pocket. Big turnover for the Lions.
Joe Poplawski, the intended receiver. Jackson just stepped right in front of him. First down, Lions at the Bomber 32. Tim Cowan goes right back to work. He's in trouble. Unloads. Fernandez goes into the air and does not come down with it. Good coverage of the Bomber secondary. Wiley Turner. And Donovan Rose was there, number 26. So it'll be second down and 10.
Good shot of them clearing deep to let Fernandez come underneath. And one of the few times we've seen all year long, Merv kind of didn't time his jump perfectly. He normally uses that great leaping ability to big advantage for himself.
Robinson will haul down interference like that. Ken Haley, number 24, just pulled him down.
I don't even think even Haley can object much to this call. Watch it again. First down, BC just outside of the 5-yard line.
First down.
The Lions trying to take advantage of the interception by Glenn Jackson. Ken Haley called for interference. The Lions first down at the 6. Goal to go. Looking for Fernandez. He's got him at the 5. And he won't get into the end zone. He was looking for a record-setting touchdown that time, but they stop him at about the 4.
You saw that motion with Fernandez coming across the formation from right to left, trying to get Merv to come out of different positions so they first of all can determine what coverage the Winnipeg Blue Bombers will be in and then try to take advantage of it. Merv already with 3 receptions here tonight.
And 17 touchdowns on the season, tying that long-standing record originally set by Hugh Campbell and tied by Terry Evanson. It's now second and goal. They spot the ball at the 3-yard line. This is a pretty good spot. The drop play to Donnie Taylor. He won't get to about the 1-yard line. They hold him out of the end zone again.
Decision time. 3rd and 1.
What is Matthews going to do?
He's putting in his short yardage offense. They're going for 6.
Going for it. Of course, if they don't make it, they got the Bombers in a hole anyway at the 1-yard line.
Good defensive effort by Winnipeg, though, to halt Taylor's progress at the 1-yard line.
All right, 3rd down from the 1-yard line. John Henry White, Donnie Taylor, the setbacks. White in motion. Cowan keeps. Did he make it?
I don't know. I don't see a touchdown being signaled.
There's no signal yet from the referee.
I think Winnipeg has stopped them.
The Bomber defense has held. It'll go over to Winnipeg. The quarterback sneak does not get it. Another look from the end zone. John Sturdivant was there first. What a job by the Bomber defense to hold him out.
Definitely got the first contact on him, Dale. Cal Murphy and his staff very, very pleased with the defensive effort of their football club. They take over now at their own 1-yard line. 4:32 remains in this first quarter. BC leads 7-0.
Willard Reeves takes the handoff, and flags fly at the line of scrimmage. Offside against the Lions. So that'll move the ball out to the 6-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 5. The Bombers getting the ball after that big defensive play at the 1. Now they're at the 5.
Offside. BC 78. 1st down repeated.
That's Mac Moore, and he was called twice last week in Calgary for lining up offside. Now it's 1st and 5, Winnipeg, on their own 6-yard line. Willard Reeves takes the pitch. He's got a 1st down and more out to the 15-yard line. Finally pinned there by Nelson Martin.
Don't forget on CTV, Grey Cup 1984, where it all culminates. We'll have the Western Final, of course, Dale and I and Al McCann along with Jack Gotta, but that's the one that will determine the champion of the Canadian Football League. And what an exciting finish it'll be.
Willard Reeves again, and he's out to about the 17-yard line. Coming into the ball game, Willard Reeves, the top rusher in the CFL, was 1,700 yards, and he said, as you take a look at his totals in that July 22nd game in which Winnipeg beat BC 25-3, he said at the beginning of the year he wanted to get 1,800 yards, felt he could do it. He needs less than 100 now after what he's picked up so far here in the opening quarter, a total of 16 yards.
And he started off very slowly. First couple of ball games, he didn't have much at all in terms of yardage.
2nd down and about 8. Clements finding Jeff Boyd at the 40-yard line for a 1st down.
Good throw by Tommy Clements with Kev Konar putting pressure on the Winnipeg quarterback. See Ty Cruz being picked up right in the middle there. Great job by the Bomber offense. And then Konar putting the pressure on number 31, but a great delivery by Clements. Big speed by the outside receivers, James Murphy, 21, and Jeff Boyd, 70 of the Bombers. Both of them were over 1,000 yards and 10 or more touchdowns during 84.
1st down from the Bomber 40. Clements overthrowing Murphy on the far side of the field. James Quick Parker, number 40, applying pressure on Clements. Managed to trip him up just after he released the football. And that's a stat that has gone over for 9 full quarters now. The Lions have not allowed a touchdown, and possibly 10. We have 2:07, 2:15 remaining now here in the opening quarter. 7-0, the Lions lead the Bombers. 2nd down and 10, Winnipeg. That little shovel pass to Willard Reeves. He is nailed after a gain of 4 yards on the play. Rick Klassen in on the tackle number 90. And that'll bring on the Bomber punting unit. But what a job they did to move it from their 1-yard line.
Great block by 65, the left offensive guard, Nick Mastaya. He goes up inside and picks up Hebler, does a good job on him. But Winnipeg having to kick the football away.
Bob Cameron punting for the 3rd time tonight. This time the Lions do have a pair of return men back. Larry Crawford has joined Clash. On his first 2 punts, the Lions were rushing 11 men. This is Clash again from the 21-yard line. He had a 63-yard return on his 2nd return of the evening. This time he is stopped at the 28-yard line. And a return of 7. It's a 7-0 score in favor of the Lions over the Bombers. Remaining in the first quarter, the Lions in front by a touchdown. That was Ron Robinson scoring a 12-yard play on a pass from Tim Cowan. And right now the Lions have the football first down at their own 28-yard line.
But what a great defensive effort by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in this first quarter, stopping the Lions on their own 1-yard line. And 3rd and 1.
And then the offense moving it out of there and picking up a couple of first downs to get some of that field position back. Tim Cowan looking and throws into a crowd. It's intercepted. Donovan Rose picks it off for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers at the BC 52-yard line. The 7th interception of the year for Rose.
Tim Cowan almost across the line of scrimmage by the time he delivers this football. Good timing by Haley as he goes up and puts that football in the air, and Rose's reaction puts the Winnipeg Blue Bombers with a first down at BC's 52-yard line. We're in the last minute now of the first quarter.
Willard Reeves sprints outside, cut from behind by Glenn Jackson at the 50-yard line. A pickup of close to 3 yards. Bernie Gleer is also in on the tire, coming into the ball game now defensively for the Lions. Jackson will go out after just making the tackle on Reeves. Clock winding down here in the first quarter. It's 2nd and 7 for the Lions, or for the Bombers rather, at the Lions 50. It should be the last play of this quarter. Clemens guns it down the middle, knocked away nicely by Larry Crawford. The pass intended for Joe Bablati.
Good
And that's going to
protection
do
by
it.
the Winnipeg Blue Bombers as well. That's the end of the first quarter. The BC Lions lead the Winnipeg Blue Bombers 7-0. We'll be back with second quarter action in just a moment.
Not a lot to choose there. The Lions leading 7-0.
Well, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers were successful in moving it out from their own 1-yard line. The BC Lions obviously have that same test coming to their offensive unit.
You think about that decision by Don Matthews, and you have to agree with him to go for the touchdown on 3rd and goal from the 1. The Bombers stop him, and now the Lions are back at their own 4-yard line and still leading 7-0. Again, this is Donnie Taylor, and he is stopped in the backfield by Brent Stan McCowis. Number 75 is into the ball game now defensively for the Bombers.
Good move by the defensive line of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. You see Aaron Brown, number 52, coming on a blitz to the weak side, but he didn't even need to be there as Winnipeg stuffed that one right at the 3-yard line. Great year by Aaron Brown, as well as the entire linebacking crew. I think that's a real strength of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers defensive football style. Those 4 guys backing up that line.
From the end zone on 2nd and 11, looking for Fernandez. It's going to be picked off by Rose again. And the ball is fumbled. They're going to rule it an incomplete pass.
Scott Flagel really disappointed as Rose had a great opportunity for another turnover. Fernandez no chance to make that reception, but he did strip the football away as he tried to lateral that ball to Scott Flagel. I don't know how they can call that incomplete.
We have a conference going on.
Possession.
They're going to give the ball to the Bombers.
Well,
they
I think
ruled
they
it an
should.
interception. Sure. Donovan Rose made the interception. He tried to flip it to Scott Flagel. One official called it an incomplete pass, but obviously one of the other officials saw what was happening, and rightly so. He's giving the ball to the Bombers. Rose makes his second interception.
Actually, the play came up on the screen. All of the fans even booed the decision, although it helped BC.
All right, the Bombers get the ball in BC territory. First down, 43-yard line. Matt Moore giving chase to Tom Clements, and he short hops it. There were 2 or 3 receivers in the area, including House, Poplawski, and Boyd. It'll be second down and 10.
Mac Moore coming from that defensive tackle position, and he's put on a tremendous amount of pressure all year long. He actually has more sacks than anybody on this football club besides James Parker. Parker more or less gets all the ink, Dale, but Moore has had a tremendous year for the BC Lions. Big guy, one of the 2 outstanding defensive stars on this ball club that are not signed so far for the Lions, he and Larry Crawford.
Second down and 10. Fakes the draw play to Willard Reeves. Clements with those quick feet going for Poplawski, and he got Kantner for a first down inside the 20-yard line. Kantner came out of nowhere to make the catch for a gain of 24.
Now, I'm not going to suggest Tommy wasn't throwing his football to Kantner, but it certainly didn't appear to be.
I thought he was looking at Poplawski all the way, and all of a sudden, number 33 is there to grab it.
Well, whatever. It doesn't matter much. It's a first down for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers at the 17-yard line now of BC. 12 minutes left in its first half.
Boy, the way the field position and the interceptions have turned this game around, you got to think back to that big defensive stand at the 1-yard line when the Bombers stopped them. Here's Sean Kehoe, the inside handoff, and he is tripped up by Melvin Bird near the 15 for a pickup of maybe close to 2 yards.
A little bit of a misdirection play, bringing both of their offensive linemen from the right side. But great reaction. You'll see the Winnipeg Blue Bombers pull the people from the right, trying to lead the play around the left side. However, good reaction by Mel Bird, number 10, right here, as he comes up from that deep halfback spot. Limits the gain to about a yard, yard and a half.
Second down. The ball near the Lions' 15-yard line. Clements throws to Kehoe at the 15. Gets to the 10 where he's nailed from behind by Larry Crawford. After the ball carrier had been spun around, he'll be short of the first down by about 3 yards.
In fact, Gooch made initial contact with Kehoe, but it was Crawford that put him down. The Bombers will have to settle for a field goal attempt.
And actually, that keeps the BC streak alive, doesn't it, Frank? 10 quarters now, they haven't yielded a touchdown.
Nelson Martin spinning Sean Kehoe around. He took that hit in the back from Larry Crawford, and now it's third down, and Trevor Kennard is on to try a field goal.
Good-looking guy. Sean Kehoe.
University of Alberta graduate. Kennard is good, and so the Bombers are on the scoreboard. 10:51 left to play here in the first half, and the Lions lead at 7-3. We'll be right back.
Tonight is BC's first-string quarterback Roy DeWalt, who's out with injury. Boy, it's an exciting game. Tim's doing a good job so far.
He's doing an exceptional job. I was just telling Mike, telling him that, just go with the things that he was doing the first quarter and just, be patient and not let anything get him down. He's going to do well.
I bet you were wishing you were doing that quarterback sneak, though, eh?
Actually, I'm so nervous standing here on the sideline, I'm about to go crazy.
Okay.
Here's Darnell Clarence on the return. And he is out to about the 33-yard line, then got down in a hurry. I think he saw Frank Robinson or Pat Kantner coming from his left side. There's a penalty marker up at the BC 45-yard line. Flash brought that one back a total of 18 yards. He averages 23.1, but this one's going to be pushed back because of a holding call against BC. So the Lions, again, will have to be starting deep in their own zone. And the last 2 pass attempts from Tim Cowan have been picked off by Donovan Rose.
Illegal block. BC 31. First down.
There's more Canadian Football League action tomorrow, and And from Lansdowne Park in Ottawa, right here on CTV, you'll see the Montreal Concorde against the Ottawa Rough Riders starting at 1:30 Eastern. Also tomorrow, the final game of the regular season, Saskatchewan playing in Edmonton. The draw play, Don Taylor got across the 15, then is pushed back. They may give him a gain of a couple on the play. Bring up second down and long. It was 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8 from the 16. Donnie Taylor does not have a touchdown this year. Tim Cowan with the 1 touchdown pass, but he's had 2 picked off. His first start at home this year. 3 starts on the road, all of them have been victories. Throws this one low to Ned Armour. He went down and got it right about the 19-yard line, but they'll be well short of the first down. He only picks up a gain of maybe 3 yards.
We talked about that pattern in the first quarter with the receiver just going down a step or two and Cowan delivering the football very, very quickly as the corners are laid off quite a bit in the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, but with the throw so low, Armour had no chance at all to pick up the first down. Winnipeg will get good field position now.
Things have kind of swung around after it was going the Lions' way with the big punt return by Clash, the interception by Jackson. But that defensive stand at the 1-yard line, as you look at the Lions' record here in the Dome since it opened last year, and the Bombers have been coming on. 7-3 in favor of the Lions as Lou Pasaglia punts it away. Good kick. Kevin Nealis from the 41-yard line.
And he's got big speed.
Bounced out of bounds by John Henry White right at midfield. A return of 14 after a kick of 50. Kevin Nealis out of the University of Manitoba.
First down,
There's nothing like a little success by the visiting team to quiet a crowd down, Dale.
It's noticeable here right now, isn't it?
Sure is.
Boyd flank left to the top of your screen. Murphy is the split receiver to the bottom.
There they go.
Clements looking for Rick House. He's got him. Penalty marker goes down as Rick House is wrapped up by Mel Bird and Andre Jones at about the 46-yard line of the Lions. Interference is charged against the Bombers. Could have been a big play.
A little pick. Freddie Fleming, our ISO director, said the outside receiver coming down definitely picked for Rick House. Let's take a look at it.
That's Boyd, number 70. He just
takes a shot at Andre Jones, number 32, as he goes by. Good alert call by the officials. It has not been a penalty field ball game. They've let the guys play, which we hope for, of course.
Offensive forward pass interference. Winnipeg, number 70. First down repeated.
First and 20.
Tom Clements started the day as the leader in passing yardage in the CFL, but Dieter Brockman, his performance in Toronto, has passed it. Right now it's first down and 20 from the 45. Willard Reeves gets open as he just got out of that backfield as the safety valve, but he picks up the 10 yards that they were penalized. Gets just inside BC territory for a gain of close to 11. It'll be 2nd down and 9 from near the BC 54.
Reeves showed his great balance there as you saw him slip just after making that reception. He has not, however, been a big factor in this ball game with his rushing totals. He came into the ball game with a CFL tying 9 games in a row at 100 yards or more. He has only 19 so far.
2nd down and 9, going deep for James Murphy. Murphy trying to get to that football, and it's incomplete. Keith Gooch, number 18, supplying the coverage.
Well, an underthrown football almost was a big play for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
And a lot of times you see that underthrown football to the advantage of the receiver because he's got his eye on it.
I think Gooch might have stripped that ball away from him after he looked like he was going to make the reception. 3rd down now for Winnipeg, so they'll have to kick it away once again. It's a 7-3 ball game here at BC Place. The first place showdown with a few folks all dressed up.
Come on, Ed, get in there now.
Bob Cameron having a good night punting here in the Dome. Maybe punting a little more often than he'd like. Flash again, the only man back at the 5-yard line. Found a bit of an opening to get it out to the 14. good job by Darnell Clash to bring it back 9 yards as there was good coverage downfield. The score is the BC Lions 7, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers 3. We'll be back in just a moment. Come as a surprise that we don't have that much scoring so far. We are looking at the top 2 defensive clubs in the entire Canadian Football League here tonight. The Lions have given up the fewest points, and the Bombers have given up the fewest amount of yards defensively. Right now, it's first down for BC at their own 14-yard line. 7:10 remaining second quarter. John Henry White bounces out to about the 18-yard line for a pickup of 4 yards. First carry of the night for John Henry.
You know, I talked to Don Matthews before the ball game. There's been a lot of conversation about Tim Cowan using the running game a lot more than Roy DeWalt when he was the quarterback for the Lions. And Matthews said, you know, it's really just been it's something that's happened. It hasn't been a planned thing. Tim may be a little less confident in his own throwing ability than Roy when he first started for the Lions. Now he puts it in the air.
He airs it out this time, looking for Burton Fernandez again. Donovan Rose gets up, claiming he was interfered with. Well, it's a long incompletion, and so the BC Lions will have to punt the ball away.
Boy, this is exactly what the BC Lions want to have. You can see Fernandez out here all by himself. They want to isolate a defensive back man-to-man, and that's Donovan Rose on that side. Fernandez trying to use his great speed as you see him take off just straight up the field. He gets a little help from Scott Flagel. If you stop it there, you can see the Winnipeg safety coming over to provide a little help. You'll see that quite a bit. They need 2 guys on him. Good shot, Freddie Fleming.
Okay, Pasaglia to punt again. Nice high kick. Kevin Nealis on the return from the 43, and he is stopped at the 48 after a return of 5 yards. Andre Jones and Dave McNeil hold the return to 5 after a 48-yard punt. Dave McNeil activated for this ball game as the Lions had a spot open on their import roster with the injury last week to running back David Tulumu. And so McNeil, who has been around a while, he's a 4th-year pro out of Missouri, and of course played considerably for the Lions whenever Tyrone Cruz has been out of our lineup. Right now, it's the Bombers with the ball at their own 49.
A little confusion, it looks like, on that offensive unit of Winnipeg.
Clements looking for Boyd. He's got him as the wide receiver came back to the football, and Mel Bird got a hold of him to bring him down at the BC 44. It's a first down Winnipeg, a pickup of 16. Actually, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, as you mentioned earlier, Frank, they have an excellent pair of wide receivers in Boyd and Murphy. One has 12 touchdowns. That's Murphy. Boyd's got 11. And Tommy uses them both extremely well.
It's really amazing how little publicity they have received so far this year.
Little razzle-dazzle here. Clements going for Rick House. He can't get to it at the 20-yard line. And I don't think Clements really got a handle on that ball after Willard Reeves had tossed it back to him. A planned play, but it'll bring up second down and 10.
Good pressure from the weak side, particularly Rick Klassen. You see Andre Jones, number 32, that does a good job of reading this play and staying with House. House almost makes a great catch on it. Reeves lateraling back to his quarterback after the handoff, but it'll be second and 10 now for Winnipeg.
Less than 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Second down and 10 Winnipeg. From the BC 44, Tommy's in trouble throwing for the sidelines. And he just got it out of the playing field. Third down Winnipeg. Big heat up front from the Lions. Defensive line, Mac Moore, Rick Klassen, James Parker, and Nick Hebler.
Parker coming from that stand-up position on his weak side linebacker, and he moved to the inside, trying to put that pressure on Clement. Tommy's had somebody in his face almost every time he goes back to throw the football. You know, you really wouldn't say Clements is a great runner, but he has that ability to move around back there and buy himself some extra time. One of the real keys to his success.
He's a perfect example of coaches saying a guy's got quick feet. Bob Cameron angles it for the far side. Darnell Clash watches it bounce out of bounds. We'll see where they spot the football. The official marks it right at the 11-yard line. Good punt by Bob Cameron. The score is 7-3 Lions over the Bombers with 4:12 remaining second quarter. We'll be right back. Take a look at Bomber head coach Cal Murphy. We just want to remind you that they rode to the Grey Cup right here on CTV, and we'll bring all the action to you, including the Eastern Division semifinal, Western Division final, and of course Grey Cup week from Edmonton, including the parade on the Saturday, Grey Cup replay from 1983. We'll also have pregame and the game itself right here on CTV. 3 weekends from now, it's all happening in Edmonton. Right now, it's the Lions first down from their own 11-yard line. Donnie Taylor takes this pass from Tim Cowan, and he gets out to the 21, very close to a first down. First catch of the night for Taylor.
Winnipeg very much respecting the speed of the BC Lion receivers, dropping back and allowing Taylor to have that reception underneath. Very close to a first down for Winnipeg as we have one of the Lions being checked out. Looks like a possible rib problem there.
Donnie Taylor was just a little bit short. There you see it as the chain is stretched out. Second down now for the Lions near their 21-yard line. Big play so far here in this opening half as far as the defense is concerned is when the Bombers stop the Lions on third goal from the 1 in the first quarter. Tim Cowan keeps now, and he does pick up the first down and have the Lions put it in the end zone in that key play in the first. They would have been out in front 14-0. But the Bombers stopped them. Since then, the Bombers have picked up a field goal, and they've kind of swung the momentum around a little bit.
John Sturdivant, number 57, was the key defender for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers on that play.
Young Tim Cowan, second-year pro out of Washington, making his very first start here at home. Looking for Pankratz and just overthrown. Ken Haley providing the coverage, getting inside help from the safety man Scott Flagel. Second down and 10.
Watch the Winnipeg Blue Bombers coming in here with a blitz now, bringing both of their linebackers from the inside. Caught the Bombers in man-to-man coverage, which is exactly what they wanted, but Cowan just overthrew the football. That was Aaron Brown and Fowler both coming up the middle there. Not a big day offensively for either ball club. That points it out pretty graphically.
A couple of pretty good defenses, as I mentioned earlier. They make it tough. You don't get anything easy off of. Oh, Mervyn Fernandez got jolted by Scott Flagel. Merv is up and heading for the bench now as it brings up 3rd and 10 for the BC Lions. And we have 2:56 remaining in the second quarter. The Lions lead it by 4. We're coming right back.
That inside spot, you saw the move that he put on Ty Jones to get away from him, but Scott Flagel really wanted to get his shot at the great receiver. Fernandez bounced right up and said, nice hit.
So Pasaglia is on to punt once more. 3rd down and 10 for the Lions. Hangs it up there again. Kevin Nealon winning for it, 41-yard line. Good downfield coverage by Bernie Blair, number 7. Gave Nealon no chance at all. A loss of 2 on the return after a 47-yard punt.
Boy, that's a pretty good example of how both of these ball clubs came prepared to play. When your specialty teams are doing a job like that, you know you're ready to play. Great speed by that young rookie from the University of Manitoba, former track star. As the experience of Tom Clements takes over the Winnipeg offense.
First down from their own 39. Little fake to Willard Reeves to roll left and overthrows Joe Boblaski.
Boy, good job by the veteran Glenn Jackson of staying with Reeves after that fake. I think he was a secondary receiver, but he did not fool the experienced linebacker Glenn Jackson on that one, number 37. He goes out a lot of times on 2nd and long. He is 10-year veteran, is not maybe the greatest pass cover that the BC Lions have. They bring in a fifth defensive back, normally, or sixth one, I should say. Bernie Gleer comes in, number 7.
Second down and 10. Dumps it off to Willard Reeves. And he is stopped by Andre Jones. The ball popped loose, but the play was whistled dead right at the 47-yard line. About 3 yards short of the first down as Andre Jones was there defensively for the Lions. So the Bomber punting unit comes back on.
Dale, as you take a look at Reeves once again being used as a pass receiver, doesn't it strike you rather strange that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers really have made no attempt to establish the running game with Reeves here so far in the first 28 minutes of this football game? He's been utilized more as a pass receiver than he has a runner.
Yeah, he's carried the ball 5 times, but he has not carried the ball, as you say, in this quarter at all. We have 2 minutes left until halftime. The punt from Bob Cameron. Cameron and Pasaglia have been busy. Tough defensive struggle. Darnell Class dancing around. Tyrone Jones is there to pin him at about the 22-yard line. 1:58 left. The 1-yard return after a 43-yard punt. Darnell Clash, 63-yard punt return in the first quarter, set up the only touchdown of this ball game as he put it deep in BC territory. And 2 plays later, Tim Cowan hit Ron Robinson for the major. Take a look at Don Matthews at the BC bench. We want to remind you that our yesterday in the CFL halftime feature tonight, the defensive end and tackle who played with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers from 1972 and 82 and played with the Calgary Stampeders for many years before that. Cowan just trying to dump it off to Donnie Taylor. He threw it low. Incomplete pass. Young Tim Cowan, 24 years of age, trying to get the Lions there in place of the injured Roy DeWalt. If you look at Merton Fernandez and Ron Robinson running into the same area.
You have to believe somebody was wrong there, don't you?
Cowan in this quarter is 2 out of 8 for 12 yards. Just got rid of the ball, but just as he was doing it, intending it for Ron Robinson, he was hit by Big Tony Norman, the right defensive end of the Bomber. There's Big Tony.
Ron Robinson wide open on the play.
Thanks to Norman, Cowan couldn't get it to the open receiver.
Well, the defenses have taken over this football game since early in the first quarter when the Lions were shut out at the 1-yard line of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Pasaglia's punt. A towering catch. Pasaglia unloaded on this one. Neal's back to his own 29-yard line. And driven out of bounds by Ron Robinson at the 40. 57-yard punt by Louis Pasaglia at the return of 10. He always seems to come through when you need it.
Boy, he makes contact here, doesn't he? This is one of the few teams, though, that the BC Lions play, and I'm, of course, referring to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, where Louis does not give them a big advantage because the Winnipeg Football Club has 2 great kickers themselves.
You're exactly right. First down from the 40. Good protection for Clements. Willard Reeves just slips out of the backfield. Got away from Tyrone Cruz, and then Kevin Konar and friends gang up on him and stop him at about the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 6 yards for the Bombers. Second down and 4. Again, Glenn Jackson right in the middle of the action. He's having a good first half here for the BC Lions with 1:29 remaining.
Big John Helton will be your man at halftime as Johnny Esau continues his series of yesterday in the CFL.
Al McCann will have the CFL this week, and Frank and I will take a look at the first half highlights. Intercepted by Larry Crawford.
Well, Larry Crawford, who has led the BC Lions every year he's been here in interceptions, now ties teammate Andre Jones in that department for 1984. The ball intended for Murphy, number 21, and with just 1:05 remaining in this first half, Crawford puts the Lions with a first down in midfield.
That's Crawford's 5th interception of the season and his 6th career interception against Winnipeg.
Here they come.
Cowan looking, going deep. Fernandez is in behind. Oh, just tipped away by Donovan Rose at the last second.
What a move by Donovan Rose at the last moment.
Donovan Rose has 2 interceptions tonight already, and he knocked this one away.
A little fake and a post for a hook pattern there, but Rose did not go for it just at the last moment. Watch his right hand go up. Great defensive effort. People here at BC Place are used to Fernandez coming up with at least 1 or 2 spectacular catches every half. Don Rose, the man of the hour, or man of the moment at least, for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. He may be a serious candidate for a Colleen O'Keefe game star at the end of this one.
2nd down and 10, and again, Rose covering against Murph Fernandez. Into the middle, it's almost picked off by Wiley Turner, intended for John Pancratz. So the Lions aren't able to take advantage of the interception by Larry Crawford, and their punting unit comes back onto the field. 2 great defensive teams. Their offenses are awesome as well, but boy, they really do have strong defensive units. That's why we have a 7-3 score right now with less than a minute to go here in the 2nd quarter. Again, Kehoe and Nealis are back to receive the punt from Pasaglia. Nealis moves up to the 10-yard line to take it. He's got good speed. He could break it. Kevin Nealis. Cut from behind. Fumbles the ball. Still loose. BC's got it. Tyrone Cruz got it. Ron Robinson made the hit and pumped the ball loose.
Robinson's hurt on the play. We talked about this young guy's great speed. Watch it.
Now watch Robinson come steaming from behind. There, the ball comes out before he made contact. Pasaglia can't get the loose ball, but Tyrone Cruz, number 91 right there, got to it. The Lions have it. Robinson shaken up after making the tackle on Nealis. 45-yard punt and a 45-yard return. The Lions are first down now at their own 37.
You see Robinson come from behind there and strip the football away from with his right hand. Just 33 seconds remaining when we return to the live action, but so far Robinson has not made a move to get up. Cal Murphy very, very upset with the officials at the moment, pointing to the scoreboard. Murphy's letting it be known his opinion about the time left.
Well, Cal was watching the replay on the big scoreboard here, and he was suggesting that they shouldn't have ruled it fumble. The player was,
I think what he's saying is the contact with the ground was what caused the fumble. Robinson now getting up, going to the sideline. BC will have just 33 seconds to try and do something with this football. First down at their own 37-yard line.
Boy, we've only had 10 points scored so far, and it's a 7-3 ball game in favor of the Lions. We've had a lot of action here in the first half.
What a great effort. Bill, you've said it before about for both of these defensive units, particularly the defensive backs, who I think have just been all over the receivers here tonight.
3, Coward, 3!
First down Lions from their own 37. Crawford looking for Pancratz. He's got it! 6-yard gain, and watch Pankratz concentrate on this football.
Boy, what frustration, too, for the defensive backs of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who were both there, Scott Fago and Donovan Rose, and thought they had an interception.
Exactly, both of them. First completion for Cowan in his last 7 attempts. Looking for Armour, and he overthrows him at the 5-yard line.
Tim has definitely not been on target with most of his throws since early in the first quarter, as that ball is badly overthrown again.
Just 7 seconds left, and Coach Don Matthews sends Louis Pasaglia on to try a field goal here. The ball is at the Winnipeg 28-yard line, so it'll be a 35-yard attempt for Pasaglia. Don Pankratz will do the holding. 7 seconds left to go here in the opening half. We're awaiting the field goal from Pasaglia. Back after this. Al Murphy called timeout there. And we're awaiting now Louis Pasaglia's 35-yard field goal attempt. With 7 seconds left here in the first half. And what Murphy has done is put his kickers in the end zone. Bob Cameron and Trevor Kennard along with Scott Flagel. And if by chance Pasaglia misses this attempt, they will be kicking it out of there. Pasaglia from inside 45 yards with good 13 out of 17. There's Flagel, one of 3 guys back there, but the field goal attempt is good. And the Lions now lead it by 7 with just 4 seconds remaining until halftime. Pasaglia, the scoring leader in the CFL. He, of course, won it last year. Has just given the Lions the lead by a converted touchdown. So the Bombers will take over from their own 35 just to finish out this first half.
First down, Bombers, their own 35.
And what a first half it has been, especially special teams, runbacks. Kevin Dillis for one, and Darnell Clash for the other, as Clements grounds football, and it only used up 1 second, so they'll have to do it one more time. So Tom huddles them up once more. And this will do it. This will finish off the first half here at a sold-out BC Place, 59,409 as Clements grounds it once more time, and the 2 teams will head to the locker rooms now. The Lions leading the Bombers 10-3.
Well, what a first half of football, and here's one of the guys who was really busy, Louis Pasaglia. Louis, it turned out to be just what we expected, a heck of a defensive battle.
Well, it's a super game. Both teams are playing hard. You know, you can't give any quarter in this game. Every mistake's going to kill you. I thought I botched one up on that punt return, and when I missed the fumble, but both teams are playing great, and it's a great ball game for the fans.
It sure is. Congratulations, Louis. Let's call in Kevin Konar. Kevin, what can I say about a defense? You've gone something like 11 quarters without yielding a touchdown, but you're really getting a test tonight.
Yeah, well, we're playing good ball the first half. The whole Winnipeg, the 3 points is something we're shooting for, and we just got to do it the second half as well.
Are they showing you much different things offensively?
Not really. I mean, they've been a great offensive team all year. There's no need for them to change, so we're just trying to shut down what they do best, is run the ball.
Good luck in the second half,
Thanks
Kevin.
a lot.
Great first half, 7-3 the score, and I'll tell you it's going to go right down to the wire. I'd say this one could be anybody's game. In just a moment, we're going to have the yesterday in the CFL.
We are back. We're back for the second half kickoff from Trevor Kennard. It's a short one to Donnie Taylor from the 35-yard line. Taylor trying to pick his way across field, and he is thrown down by number 37, Frank Robinson of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They will spot the ball at the BC 36-yard line, and they'll take a look at the General Motors Chevrolet first half stats, and not a lot of offense. The defenses have really been dominating this football game. And special teams, a couple of big plays on punt returns, one by each team. Right now, it's the BC Lions with the football here in the third quarter. From the 36-yard line, quickly over the middle to Donnie Taylor, and he's unable to hang on to that football. And a lot of talk, Frank, around press row up here was that big defensive stand by the Bombers. As you take a look at Canadian recording star Brian Adams, who's in attendance here tonight, who is, I guess, shooting a video of some sort for...
There's a lot of young ladies around here that are very excited about his present.
Some Winnipeg fans as well.
Well, thank you for the hello.
Second down and 10. A lot of talk anyway about that big Bombers fan at the 1-yard line. The Lions look like they're going to go up 14-0. Here's Ned Armour on the receiving end of this pass. Where are they going to spot it? It looks like he'll be about a half a yard short of the first down. Donovan Rose is there to make contact with him. See what Matthews chooses to do now is we'll get a measurement on the play.
I think you're right, Jill. I think he is about a foot short. But I'm sure that the Lions will gamble on third down here. As we mentioned, Willard, Reeves, and Fernandez, who, of course, everybody expected to have big offensive productive nights, have not done so. Reeves has only gained 19 yards, and all of that was early, very early in this ball game. Fernandez has caught 3 passes for 24 yards, so far, defenses have dominated.
Well, the Lions will go for it. Third down. About a foot from their own 46-yard line. As a rule, Tim Cowan usually keeps it. Does again. Right in behind is veteran center Al Wilson to pick up the first down for the Lions.
I'm sure Tim's wishing he'd been that successful on his quarterback sneak at the goal line.
Taking a look at Andre Jones stretching out on the BC side of the field. First down, Lions from the 47. They lead it 10-3. We're early in the third quarter in this showdown for first place in the West. Both clubs 11-3-1 coming in. Cowan throws low to North Fernandez. They're going to rule it an incomplete pass. It looked like he trapped it right in midfield.
Boy, heads-up call by the officials. I thought he made the reception. Verb is not squawking, though, so obviously the call was correct. Take a look at it once again.
Skimmed the surface of the artificial turf. It'll be second down and 10 from the 47.
Looks like a pretty adroit shortstop on that one, didn't he?
Pancras going in motion to the right. Tim Cowan trying to get away from Aaron Brown. Throws for Ned Armour. They roll him out of bounds. The Lions claim he was pushed out. The officials, 2 of them, were right there to make the call. Watch this. Aaron Brown with the pressure on Cowan.
Brown was coming on a blitz on
He's
the
in
play.
the air and pushed out of bounds.
Some unhappy fans here at BC Place. You see that pressure by 52 Brown.
Sagri at a punt once more. Look at that average here tonight. Almost 50 yards. Of course, he led the league last year with an average of just over 50 yards. Not one of his better ones. This is Sean Keogh moving up to take it at his own 23-yard line. Keogh with a flag down, still on his feet, brings it out to the 50. A good run back by Sean Keogh. Dennis Javen, number 67, was in on the tackle. A return of 27 yards after a punt of 40. But there was a flag down up around the Winnipeg 50-yard line. They'll bring this excellent run back by Sean Keogh back. An illegal block of some sort on the return.
Holding. Winnipeg 14. First down.
First down from the Winnipeg 25 as Scott Flagel was charged with holding. takes the handoff, cut down by Kevin Conard, who's having his best year as a pro. A gain of 2 yards on the play.
Boy, a great stop just over the line of scrimmage that corner. Watch him go down low on Reeves.
It's the only way you're going to stop that guy one-on-one. Conard is the barbarian. Popular player here. Second down and 8. Clements shows it short to Boyd. It'll be third down. The top 2 defensive teams in the country are in action here tonight, and there have been no sacks so far. Somewhat amazing considering that the Bombers lead the league in sacks and the Lions are second.
Well, I'll tell you what, this crowd is really on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers right now. I talked with Cal Murphy about that prior to the ball game. In fact, both of the coaches, and he had kind of an interesting observation.
There's the punt from Bob Cameron. Darnell Clash waits for it. Now backs up inside his 35. That punt carried a long way for Cameron, and Clash gets it back out to the 42. Good kick of 50 yards by Bob Cameron. 7-point lead for the Lions of the Bombers. We'll be right back.
The packed house here tonight at BC Place, does it have effect on the ball game?
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to say, but I know it has an effect on Stanley Park because there's nobody left in the zoo.
You weren't particularly happy last year with the crowd here.
I didn't say anything about it. I didn't say anything at all. I was quiet.
Very.
First down for the Lions from their 42, and Donnie Taylor busts it out to midfield for a first down. Tackled by Kent Haley and Wiley Turner.
Murph says he didn't say anything about the crowd. Very non-committal. I'll tell you, we got a response from Don Matthews about having a 13th man, of course referring to the crowd. He certainly thinks it's a factor.
Bombers ran that play all the way. Delbert Fowler was there to cut Donnie Taylor down in the backfield for a loss of 4 yards. There was no surprise at all there as far as Winnipeg was concerned. They saw that one coming. Second down and 14 now. The Lions back at their own 51.
Well, thank you very much. My son Mitch, standing behind me in the booth here, will remember his Winnipeg days as well. Hello to everybody back there.
Cowan is picked off by Ken Haley. Back to midfield where he was tripped up by Glenn Leonard. A 24-yard return for number 24, his 9th interception of the year.
Well, I don't think he's ever had one that was easier. He just sits back there, and Cowan hits him right in the numbers. Another turnover against the BC Lions. A 3rd interception now for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers against Tim Cowan. And of course, they did lose the ball once on that 3rd and 1 situation, so you've got to count 4 turnovers against them.
First down Bombers. Clements goes to Boyd. Wrestled out of bounds by Mel Bird. They spotted at the BC 47. A pickup of 8 yards.
Yeah, we talked about the crowd and the effect here. It's pretty quiet right now, but Matthews definitely felt that they had an advantage by having this ballpark packed with their supporters. Here's his comment.
Don, your 13th man here this evening, 60,000 people. Are they a factor?
Yeah, I really think so, Riggs. I know that when we played in Winnipeg, their crowd got behind their team, and as they played better, they helped them with their noise, and I think that I'm delighted that it's our turn to have our noise.
Well, you wouldn't really plan to make noise while Clemens is trying to call signals or anything like that, though.
Well, I'm going to try to be quiet myself, Riggs, but I hope that the fans understand the importance of the game.
Good luck.
Thanks.
And you just saw a big defensive play by the Lions that time on Willard Reeves as Nick Hebler and James Parker teamed up to stop him. At the 46, it's 3rd down and a little less than a yard to go for the Bombers.
You'll hear a little crowd noise right now.
You betcha. it. It's building now.
There it comes.
Third down, less than a yard for the Bombers. Clements gets the first down, and that'll quiet them in a hurry. Another series of downs to work with for the Bombers inside the BC 45-yard line as Winnipeg now tries to take advantage of the late interception in this one by Ken Haley.
So it's easily picking up the first down now with the Bombers moving inside the 45-yard line of the Lions. We're midway through the third quarter of this ball game. Winnipeg trails by 7.
Okay, Winnipeg, first down as you look at the 22nd clock in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. Joe Poplawski went up in the air to make the catch. Tried to get up, and then Larry Crawford was there to stop him right at the 35-yard line for a gain of 9. Another look at the catch by Poplawski, the Bombers nominee as the Outstanding Canadian Player in 1984. Of course, he won that award previously. Second down and 1. Clements gives to Willard Reeves. He was hit right at the line, but he may have fallen forward enough to get the first down. We'll have another measurement. Jackson gets up and has words with big offensive tackle Chris Walby.
Glenn, I think you ought to pick on somebody else. Walby's about 290.
Looks like they'll be a bit short of the first down here.
Boy, the BC Lions defensively ever done a job on Reeves so far.
It's amazing how really Reeves and Fernandez not been big factors at all in this ballgame.
Reeves has only 23 yards unofficially and 8 carries so far tonight.
Fernandez has 3 catches for 24 yards. Third down. Clements keeps again, and he'll have another first down for the Blue Bombers as they keep the drive going.
No comments about Al McCann. Good surge by that offensive line led by John Bach, their all-star safety, and Nick Pastaya, number 65, left offensive guard. Got off the ball extremely well in the last 2 short yardage plays.
Just over 6 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Bombers first and 10 at the Lions 33. Clements looking for Boyd. This is going to be intercepted by Nelson Martin. So the Lions have got the ball back again at their own 13-yard line. They're hanging on to a 7-point lead in the third quarter. We'll be right back.
Well, trade interceptions here in the third quarter as Nelson Martin picks one off for the BC Lions when it looked like Winnipeg was going to start to do something offensively. Jeff Boyd, the intended receiver. Tim Cowan and group take over at their own 18-yard line.
Handoff. Donnie Taylor pops out of there again. And he has a gain of about 8 yards as he gets across the 20-yard line. That interception by Nelson Martin, only his second of the season, but his 5th career interception against Winnipeg.
Good block by Roper, number 65, left offensive guard to set Taylor loose up the middle. The gain is 8 yards.
Delbert Fowler got in on the tackle against Donnie Taylor. Second down and 2. Good blocking up front. Taylor squeezed out of there. Back to the live action. The give is to John Henry White. First down, Lions out of the 25-yard line. Good bit of running that time by number 20, John Henry White.
Boy, nothing very complicated about those last 2 plays, though. Just straight dives and trying to outman the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Kept the hole quick.
I just wonder if Jim Collins' confidence is shaken just a bit after 3 interceptions so far here this evening. He has not been an effective thrower tonight since very early in the first quarter of this ball game.
Since he was stopped at the 1-yard line on that 3rd and goal situation. With the blitz on, he gets it out to Mervin Fernandez. Now it's a foot race, but David Shaw has the angle on him and makes him step out of bounds at the 33-yard line. And that's a gain of 8 for Fernandez.
Same play that the BC Lions started this ball game out with, trying to utilize Mervin's great running ability after making the reception.
That's Merv's first catch since the opening quarter. Donnie Taylor on 2nd down, fighting for yardage. He may have the first down. That was just sheer determination on the part of Donnie Taylor. He ran into a whole bunch of traffic, and he does get the first. Isn't that nice to see that Donnie Taylor earned the chance to start this ball game? Don Matthews showing a lot of confidence in him, and he's coming through for them.
First down Lions, outside the long 35.
Look at Al Wilson, the veteran center. Glenn Leonard, number 54, the right guard in front of him. First down, Lions. Or Fernandez, far sideline. First down. Donovan Rose makes the tackle.
I'll tell you what, that's a fine tackle by Donovan Rose. There's not many people who enjoy that experience of going one-on-one trying to stop Fernandez in the open field. Rose does it. Not before Fernandez picks up a first down to their 47-yard line now.
Pancratz, number 21, going in motion. Donnie Taylor takes the handoff, picks his way out to the 50, to about the 51 or 2-yard line. Gain of possibly 4 or 5 yards.
A very conservative offensive approach by the Lions now on this drive.
Well, it's getting to the time in the ball game that one big play could decide it, Frank. We have 2.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. 10-3 score in favor of the Lions. Draw play by the quarterback, and it is snuffed out immediately by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Brent Brissett, number 78, was there. A penalty marker down at the line of scrimmage. Offside against the BC Lions. Sure that'll be declined. It'll be 3rd down for BC. Aaron Brown, the defensive captain of the Bombers. Here's the call.
Number 8, decline. 3rd down.
Ed Armour's number 8, so that'll bring on the punting unit. Kevin Nealers and Sean Kehoe back deep. Sagley to do the punting. Another beautiful kick by Pasaglia. He'll put it right to the goal line. Nealers runs out of room at the 8. 59-yard punt. And a return of 8, so the Bombers will have to start from deep in their own zone when we come back. BC leads at 10-3. We'll return right after this.
To be in there helping those Bombers, Dan Hucklack, who is injured. Dan, it's going to take one big play, I think.
I tell you, I think so. I don't think there's going to be many points scored. I think scoring a 13-10 is going to win it. I just hope we can do it right now. We're in a heck of a spot down the 8-yard line. You can hear the crowd, so it's going to be a big factor right now. We just have to see what's called.
Okay, Dan.
Hear the crowd, see the crowd. We got all shapes and sizes here tonight. First down, Bombers from the 8-yard line. Willard Reeves gets to the 10, and he's wrapped up by Nick Hebler and thrown back to the 5. Hebler and Reeves now have words. This has been a tough physical football game.
Reeves came right back after Hebler, really upset with the orange shoes. But Hebler stuffed him right after about a half-a-yard gain. Well, they're going to give him about a yard or so on it, yard and a half.
You see see that motion when they have to get in tight to hear the count.
Here's a good shot of Reeves, just a little delay action, but watch 99 meet him at the crossroads.
All right, it's second down and 8 from the 10. Big play here in the last minute of the third quarter. Clements going to Willard Reeves. He's got him near the 15. He is stopped shy of the first down. Bernie Blair and Tyrone Cruz making the hit. It's 3rd and 2, and the Bomber punting unit comes on.
I'm just amazed they have not called any kind of a timeout. How they can hear, I have no idea.
They're going to save all that for the fourth quarter in a game this close, I'm sure, Al. They could only call time on 3 occasions in the entire ball game because of crowd noise.
Also, another thing, Dale, if you call it once, the crowd will know they're winning and they'll get worse.
Exactly. As soon as Clemens backs out of there and admits the crowd is getting to him, they'll never quiet him down. Bob Cameron punting, and he gets away a good high kick. Larry Crawford at his own 48-yard line. Crawford is to the Bomber 51. A 45-yard punt and a return of 11 yards. Vernon Paul was in on the tackle. We have time for maybe one more play here in the third quarter. The Lions will start at the Winnipeg 51.5. 59,000 plus at the BC Place Stadium. Johnny Taylor again. Taylor fighting for yardage. Spilled at the 45. They'll spot it at the 46-yard line, and that'll do it for the third quarter. The BC Lions hanging on to a 7-point lead over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. We'll return with the fourth quarter in just a moment. Devin got his hand up there to deflect it. If you take a look at the Chevy stats after 3 quarters and look at the total yardage, 167 to 163. And it's a 10-3 ball game in favor of the Lions. Sagler took a quick check and then hoops another high one deep. Sean Keogh waiting inside the 5-yard line. And BC Lions coverage is downfield quickly to stop him after a return of 3. A 43-yard kick by Bisaglia.
And he hung it up there forever, giving that coverage team the time to get down there and do this.
John Henry White, Andre Jones, and a number of others were there. Kehoe really had very little option that time as the ball hung up there and gave that coverage team plenty of time to get down there. So now the Bombers again starting from their own 8-yard line. The pitch to Willard Reeves. Cuts it back inside, gets across the 10 to about the 12. Tyrone Cruz, the middle linebacker, moved over to make the stop on the CFL's rushing leader and the #1 candidate to win the Outstanding Player Shetley Award this year.
Looking to set an all-time CFL record for most consecutive 100-yard games, but he's had a very low productive night so far. As you saw, 28 yards on the night.
That gives him 1,728 in the season. 4th highest total ever in a single season. Tom Clements on second down. He's in trouble. Clements is sacked at the 1-yard line. Rick Klassen. That is the first sack of the ball game. What a big defensive play by Rick Klassen.
Watch number 90 come in and get Clements almost in the end zone. Winnipeg all the way back to their 1-yard line.
John Huffnagel is now loosening up at the Bomber bench. There you see the veteran John Huffnagel, 12-year pro out of Penn State.
Well, it's great to have that ability to be able to throw another guy in there, give it a little different look.
Bob Cameron is standing 15 yards deep in his end zone. Good punt. Good punt out to the 47-yard line. Darnell Clash, he gets it back to about the 42. So the BC Lions now have good field position after a 46-yard punt and a 5-yard return. There's our score, and we'll be right back. Remaining, not a lot of scoring, but we've had a lot of action. And the Lions are first down now at their own 42-yard line. The BC defense has not allowed a touchdown for 3 complete ball games now. Donnie Taylor taking the handoff again from Tim Cowan. Darts his way to about the 36, 37-yard line for a pickup of 5. Vernon Paul comes in defensively for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Frank Robinson will come out.
Would you believe going in, Dale, that at this point in the ballgame, Donnie Taylor has rushed as many times as Willard Reeves?
Oh, that's an incredible stat, isn't it? Second down and 4. Fernandez coming inside. First down inside the 25-yard line. David Shaw made the tackle. 13-yard gain.
And that man is looking for the all-time CFL touchdown record. Tied at the moment with Huey Campbell.
He came into the ball game with 82 receptions on the year. He now has 88, which puts him in the lead. And pass receiving and yardage pass receiving. Donnie Taylor the handoff. Gets to about the 19-yard line. Aaron Brown making the tackle, number 52. It'll be second down and 6 for the Lions. Donnie Taylor has seen the ball tonight as Frank mentioned as much as Willard Reeves.
That really is amazing, isn't it?
Certainly a candidate for Carling O'Keefe Game Stars, which are coming up right after this ball game. Donnie Taylor with 11 carries for 48 yards. Willard Reeves 10 carries for 29 yards. Second down and 6. Penalty marker down. Nobody home. Hank Cowan really ended up throwing that away, but
miscommunication there between he and Fernandez, who was a wide receiver on that side, but penalty, I believe, is against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Offside against Winnipeg. Here's Fernandez. Looks like they must have lined up offside the way that flag came down.
Fernandez looking for that quick hitch pass at that wide receiving spot, and Winnipeg Blue Bombers substitute.
Winnipeg 72. Second down.
Gilbert Fowler called for the offside. It'll be second and just 1 yard to go now for BC Lions at the 19-yard line of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Second and 1. Cowan looking for the big one. Fernandez first down. And about the 2-yard line. What a job by Donovan Rose.
I'll tell you, Rose was right there with Fernandez as he has been all night long. But Murray just comes back towards the football. And there's very little a defensive back can do about that. The ball delivered perfectly by Collins. First down at the 2.5-yard line.
Now Mervyn Fernandez is starting to assert himself here in the second half. He had 22 catches against the Bombers in his career, and he's got 7 here tonight. John Henry White short of the goal line. The BC Lions were at the Winnipeg 1-yard line in the first quarter, threatening to make it a 14-0 ball game. And on 3rd and goal, the Bombers stopped them. Right now, it's 2nd and goal from the 1. The Bomber defense has been in this spot before here in this ball game. They came out big on the previous occasion.
Seems like that Bomber defense has been on the field almost the whole evening.
I think that's right, yeah. Here's the second down play from the 1-yard line. Taylor is hit by Fowler. No, he did not make it.
Well, we've got one official signaling touchdown. He's in there.
Boy, it was a late call, but they say he got in. His first touchdown of the year.
Great hit by Delbert Fowler, but it does not stop gets in for the second major for the BC Lions tonight. Watch his hit.
All he has to do is break the plane of the goal line, and that official just on the other side of the pile is the one who called it. From here, it didn't look like he had made it.
Oh, watch him. He reaches the ball out over the goal line, I believe, Dale. Right there, you really can't see it that well.
Dan Mikowas, number 75, was pushing him back. Donnie Taylor is credited with the 1-yard touchdown, his first major score of the season. And what a big one. With 8:47 remaining in the fourth quarter, the Lions now lead it 16-3. This first place showdown here in Vancouver.
See him reaching that ball across the goal line. He didn't get over by very much, that's for sure. John Sturdivant hurt on the play. BC Lions stretch their lead to 16-3 with the extra point to come now from Luke Pasaglia.
Well, you know,
it would appear we're going to see John Hufnagel now, Dale.
I'm sure we will. We talked about the Bombers making that big play, stopping the Lions at the Winnipeg 1-yard line in the first quarter. Now you have to turn around and talk about Rick Klassen making the sack on Tom Clements at the Winnipeg one and force them to punt their end zone.
That's right.
And the Lions then moved it into the touchdown, and Louis Pasaglia converts it, and they now have a 14-point lead over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers with less than 9 minutes to go, and we're coming right back to Vancouver. Scoring drive by the BC Lions. Donnie Taylor got it just across the goal line from 1 yard out. And it's a 17-3 ball game in favor of BC with Lou Pasaglia to kick off. What a big man he has been tonight for the Lions with those impressive punts. Sean Kehoe from the 5. Good run back by Kehoe. Out to the 40-yard line. Tripping him up was Glenn Jackson. A 35-yard return. The Bombers needed that. And the offense for Winnipeg led by John Hufnagel, who has now replaced Tom Clements, comes onto the field. The attendance tonight, as you look at the run back again, 59,421.
Dale, I'll tell you what, they could have sold 100,000 tickets at this ball game.
We walked past some scalpers when we came to the ball game, and that was about 2.5 hours before game time, and they were $50 a ticket at that time from the scalpers.
I was just thinking, gentlemen, Tom Clements is not going to have fond memories of BC Place. You'll recall last year, about the same time of year, he banged up his collarbone here.
And, of course, that forced him out of that Western final game.
And if this lead continues or holds on by the BC Lions, we'll be right back here at BC Place for the Western final.
And chances are we'll be seeing a repeat performance.
And don't forget, all of the Grey Cup action will be brought to you across CTV, starting with the parade on Saturday, November 17th. Replay starts at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. Western semifinal action, of course, Edmonton in Winnipeg, RBC. The winner to play that final game, which, as they say, you'll see on the entire CTV network.
Eight minutes and 40 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. The Lions leading the Bombers 17-3. We'll be back in just a moment. Score with 8:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. Remind you again that we have CTV action with CFL tomorrow again with Montreal playing Ottawa. And we want to remind you about the Grey Cup coming up in Edmonton 3 weekends from now. Saturday, November the 17th, you'll see the 83 Grey Cup replay, followed by the 84 Grey Cup parade. And then, of course, the big day itself, Grey Cup Sunday at Commonwealth Stadium. And next week, we'll have the Eastern semifinal for you. Montreal will be playing in Hamilton starting at 1 o'clock Eastern time.
Pat Marsden, Lee Pedersen, Bill Stevenson bringing you that action from Hamilton, who sewed up second place today.
And, of course, 2 weeks from tomorrow, we'll the best field position to start a drive the Bombers have had in the second half. Their own 40-yard line. Willard Reeves, 43, a pickup of 3 yards. Nick Hepler was in on the tackle, number 99, along with James Parker, number 40. Is now lined up in the backfield along with Willard Reeves on second down and 7. Murphy splits off into the slot area to the top of your screen. Huffnagel under pressure. Penalty marker down. Huffnagel looking for that first down marker, and he is knocked out of bounds right at the 49-yard line, and he'll be just short of the first down. Bernie Clear was there, number 7. Penalty marker thrown in the area of the line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to push him back. Holding against the Bombers.
Well, Winnipeg doesn't want to find themselves in a position where they have John Huffnagel taking off with that football. He not had a great running career.
Holding. Winnipeg 62. Second down repeated.
Richard Nemeth starting left tackle. The Bombers have now picked up 7 penalties for 81 yards. The Lions have been penalized 4 times for 25 yards. It's second down over again. The ball now back at the 33-yard line, 17 yards to go. Kehoe takes the pass from Huffnagel, gets to the 45. Where he's stopped by Bernie Blair. He'll be 5 yards short of the first down and pick up a 12.
Parker coming in there putting excellent pressure on Winnipeg's quarterback John Huffnagel. See that move to the inside of Chris Wallaby. Huffnagel goes down after releasing the football. 7 minutes now remain in this ball game, and the BC Lions are enjoying a 14-point advantage.
You know, Frank, that Sean Kehoe's got lots of heart. On that punt return, he actually pulled a muscle and had a knot in it. He worked it out, went back in and made that good play.
Bob Cameron set the punt. He's going to throw on a punt formation. It's intercepted by Bernie Blair. Bernie Blair gets his first interception of the year, and it comes at a very opportune time. 6:40 remaining in the ball game.
Well, Dale, I don't recall ever seeing Bob Cameron throw the football.
Oh, this year alone, he's 1 out of 2 in passing out of punt formation.
Well, there you go. I missed them both.
And that one he threw right to the BC line. Bernie Blair, first down for the Lions at the Winnipeg 51. John Henry White. He's got about 4 yards. Tony Norman was there defensively, along with Vernon Paul, Stan McCallus. Second down. Close to 5.
BC obviously trying to burn as much time off that clock as well now. 6 minutes remaining. As the Lions trying to tie their most productive season ever. If they win this one, they wind up with 25 points.
Pass intended for Donnie Taylor. He just couldn't find the handle. There's a penalty marker down on the play. And Cowan just got that play off. There was 1 second left on the 22nd clock when Al Wilson snapped it to the quarterback. Legal procedure charged against the Lions.
Well, what a hit by Fowler.
Procedure. BC, no end. Third down.
It's going to be a kind of a difficult decision here, Dale, because Sagli has the ability to put this one in the end zone. I would assume that Winnipeg will have to try to run it out because they can't afford to give up another point as the crazy run does his thing.
Sean Kehoe is back at the goal line along with Kevin Nealis, awaiting the punt from Bisaglia. the corner, fumbled by Cahill at the 2-yard line. I tell you, this Louis Pasaglia and his punting tonight has just been incredible.
Just every kick he's hit tonight has been beautiful. Look at this one. Well, Dale, we talk a lot about the home field advantage of the winner here tonight in the Western Final, but let's don't forget that the loser has to face the Edmonton Eskimos in that semifinal game.
And this has been such a tough physical ball game. It's going to take something out of these guys. Pasaglia has been averaging over 48 yards a punt tonight. That's the third time in this half that the Bombers have had to start inside their own 10-yard line. As Willard Reeves getting the handoff in the end zone and gets out to about the 4 for a gain of 2 yards.
Probably the most significant factor in this entire football game has been the ability of the BC Lions to totally control Willard Reeves and the running game of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
As I mentioned, they have gone 12 full quarters without allowing a touchdown. What a perfect time of the year for the Lion defense to start playing its best football. Second down and 8. Willard Reeves taking a little swing pass, manages to get to the 5-yard line. Tyrone Cruz is there to stop him. And Bob Cameron will be punting from the end zone once more.
Well, that really should do it for the BC Lions. There's only 4:12 remaining now, and obviously Cal Murphy and his group are going to have to kick the ball away once again.
Bob Cameron will be punting for the 11th time as you see John Hucknagel head to the bench. He replaced Tom Clements 2 series ago, and he's not having any more success than Tom did. Extremely tough defense by the Lions tonight. The Bomber defense has been very good as well. Darnell Clash awaiting the punt. 48-yard line of Winnipeg. Penalty markers down. He gets to the 41-yard line. Tripped up by Frank Robinson. 43-yard punt by Cameron. See what the penalty call is here with 3:33 remaining in the ball game. Like an illegal block or holding call against the BC Lions. Jacques Chapdelaine, number 71. You look at Clash.
Concentrating on that football, and possession is all the Lions really need right now.
BC 71.
Jacques Chapdelaine called for a blocking infraction.
You mentioned earlier about having Nick Hebler back in the lineup. I believe he returned for that October 6th game against Toronto. And of course, they now have a string of 12 straight quarters without allowing a touchdown. Closing in on 13. Johnny Tedder pushed back, thrown down by Delbert Fowler.
Dale, the numbers are really not that big, but Donnie Taylor has had an excellent night here, helping control the football. He's gained about 50 yards in this football game. But in a game where defenses have dominated, it's been Taylor's ability to pick up those 4 or 5 yards when really needed. Of course, he scored the insurance touchdown as well.
It's second down and 9 for the Lions. They're at the Winnipeg 54. John Henry White finds an opening. Gets to the 45-yard line, and they made an investment here. We have 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the ball game, and the Lions lead it 17-3. We'll be right back. BC Lions are less than 3 minutes away from clinching first place in the West for the second straight year. Both clubs coming into the ball game 11-3-1. The Bombers, of course, have not finished first since 1972. Right now, they trail 17-3. First down, BC from the Winnipeg 45. John Henry White, wrapped up by Tony Norman, gets the ball to about the 42-yard line for a gain of 3 yards. Second down and 7. Earlier today, Hamilton went second place in the East with a 25-20 win over Toronto. Hamilton will host Montreal a week from tomorrow in the Eastern semifinal. The loser of this game goes against Edmonton in the Western semifinal, also a week from tomorrow. Donnie Taylor. The Lions content to stay on the ground and eat up the clock for under 2 minutes. Taylor gets to about the 38. And Bisaglia will come on, and I'm sure this time he'll be trying a field goal attempt. Bisaglia, with his kicking here tonight, certainly has been a star for the BC Lions.
No question about that.
John Pankratz will hold for him near the 45-yard line. Scott Flagel's the only man in the end zone. Kick has the distance. It is good.
Well, that put it away for the BC Lions. 20-3. In the biggest ball game of 1984, the Lions totally dominating the Winnipeg offense with a great defensive effort. Louis, a great night kicking as well, the leading scorer in the Canadian Football League
for the second straight year. As you look at Cal Murphy, and you mentioned defensive effort. This emphasizes it. The Bombers only have 2 first downs this half, but none in this fourth quarter. Upnig on first down to the 35. Throws incomplete. Kevin Konar was there covering on Joe Poplawski.
Konar once again having a great season, as Dale pointed out a little earlier. Knocks the ball away, just 1:36 remaining.
Upnagel, the keyhole, the 40-yard line, cannot get away from Andre Jones at the 42 or the 43, depending where they spot it. It'll be third down. BC Lions shaken up on the play. Mac Moore, way back at the 26-yard line, finally gets to his feet. And he's going to leave the playing field, but not before he takes a bit of a breather. Ron Turkus will come in and replace him.
Well, Dale, we know where we're going to be 2 weeks from now. Right here at BC Place for the Western Final.
Sunday, November the 11th. And the chant starts here at BC Place. We're number 1.
And I'll tell you, they got lost to Yellowbaugh, too. This team is now 18-3 at the Dome with 1 tie. Isn't that right, Dale?
That's right. Only 2 visiting teams have managed to win it here. Toronto Argonauts did it twice last year. Once the Grey Cup came. Saskatchewan once this year. Toronto tied the Lions here. Clock is running, 1:25 remaining. It is third down and 3 for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Ball at their own 42. Upnagel looks one way and will not get it up.
Oh, that's rather appropriate.
James Parker.
What a year he's had, and watch the quick one. First right through 2 blockers of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and grabbed John Upnagel's right arm. That'll be it as the BC Lions take over on the Winnipeg 37-yard line.
24th sack of the season for James Parker, and that defensive unit of the Lions has a lot to celebrate tonight. What a game they have played.
Actually, both of them have played an extremely good football game. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers, I thought, did a great job of covering the BC receivers all night long. But they just were on the field too long. The offense couldn't do it.
That was John Henry White taking the handoff, picking up about 3 yards, put the ball at the Winnipeg 34. What a night it's been here at a sold-out BC Place. Jubilation on the far side of the field as you look at the defensive unit of the BC Lions. Larry Crawford, James Parker, Mac Moore, Nick Hemmer, Rick Klassen. They all have such a big part in this tremendous effort. As the Lions sew up first place for the second year in a row, John Henry gets the first down inside the 25-yard line. in the near side of the field. Dejection on the faces of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Came in here with their hopes high that they would be the first Bomber team to clinch first place in the West and get that all-important home field advantage for the Western Final as you watch Tim Cowan ground the football with 30 seconds left.
A little booing here as the fans want the Lions to try to add to their total. Well, the Lions did roar in '84.
They had to come from behind to grab first place this year. There were times just a month ago, even less than that, when Roy DeWalt went down, when it didn't look like they really had a serious chance of finishing out of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, as Cowan grounds it once more, and he'll have to do it again before this game is history. The celebration is on in Vancouver. Roy DeWalt went down in that Toronto game late in that 21-21 tie with a broken collarbone, and since then Tim Cowan has stepped in and won 2 in a row on the road, and making his first start as you see a long-haired Don Matthews who does not get his hair cut before a big game. This one is over. The BC Lions sew up first place in the all-important bye to the Western Final, and they'll have home field advantage as they defeat the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Brewers of O'Keefe's Extra Old Stock, Carlsberg Light, OV, and Miller High Life.